Okay, can you hear me okay? Good. So my role tonight is to talk to you about a program at the Alzheimer Society, London Middlesex, that we've kind of adopted. And we've adopted a program called Learning the Ropes. And it's we've adopted this program to assist and support individuals in our community with mild cognitive impairment. This program was developed initially at Baycrest Hospital in Toronto by Dr. Kelly Murphy and her team. Dr. Murphy is a neuropsychologist. And then the program was replicated at Parkwood Hospital here. And in the fall of 2013, Learning the Ropes was initiated for the first time at the Alzheimer Society, London Middlesex. So currently, the fourth Learning the Ropes program is underway at the Alzheimer Society. And I see some of our current participants in the audience today, so that's great. And I want to introduce my colleague, actually, Paul Yost. Paul is a fellow social worker, and he also is a facilitator of the Learning the Ropes program. So what is Learning the Ropes? Let's see if I can get this. So what is Learning the Ropes? So Learning the Ropes is a 6-week memory training program for individuals with a diagnosis of mild cognitive impairment. A family member or friend is also invited to participate when memory changes occur. Maybe some of you are aware of this or experiencing this. When memory changes occur in one family member, others in the family are also impacted. So we invite a family member or friend to participate in the program as well. The Learning the Ropes sessions are twofold. Let me know if I need to go through. If I'm not clicking through properly enough, just let me know. So the Learning the Ropes sessions are twofold. The first hour includes all participants, the individual with MCI as well as the family member, and provides education on the impact of lifestyle factors on memory function. Some examples of that would be nutrition, stress management, physical activity, socializing, those types of things. So lifestyle factors, those are a really important component of the teaching. Then the second hour involves memory training for the individual with MCI, and a separate group is held for the family members, providing support and addressing specific questions and concerns that they might have as well. So ropes. ROPES is actually an acronym for the memory strategies or techniques taught in this program. I'm just going to briefly go over each one, so you'll have a bit of an overview about what we talk about in the program, and you'll have an idea of what these strategies look like. So the first one is R. I'm not going to call out our participants because they probably know what these are, but R stands for record. So this strategy emphasizes the importance of writing things down. How many of you are making lists and writing things down? Yeah, good. So many people have the idea that if I write things down, well, my brain gets lazy. And I might get more reliant on these notes. But we actually know the opposite is actually true. By writing things down, we're actually engaging the brain. We're doing something mentally challenging. So we talk a lot about this strategy, the idea of recording, writing things down. We actually encourage our participants to purchase a book, a daytime, or we call it a memory organizer. We think it's pretty important to have one of these with you, a portable book that we can take with us everywhere. So writing things down, it's pretty important, even if we don't refer to what we're writing down. So I'll give you an example of that. So say there was two people. I'll maybe use my mom as an example. She's here tonight, and my friend Judy. So the two of them maybe they both needed to go to the grocery store. They both thought, well, we're out of a few items. So my mom, what she did, she went through our kitchen. My mom and I lived together. So she went through our kitchen, and she kind of noticed some of the things that we needed, like bread and milk, and she didn't write anything down. She just noticed. She just took note of that. She kind of made a mental note. Do you do that sometimes? Just make a mental note of things I need to pick up. Now Judy, she did the same thing. She went through her kitchen, found some of the things that she needed, well, milk and cheese and eggs, but she wrote things down. She made a list. So the next day, both Judy and my mom, they went to Metro separately to do some shopping. Now Judy actually forgot her list. Don't tell, she actually forgot her list. But who do you think during that shopping experience, who do you think is actually going to remember the most items that they needed? Who do you think? Judy, not my mom. she's got good memory, but not my mom. So Judy, and the reason is, even though she didn't have her list, she wrote things down. And just by doing that, that was a mental exercise for her. She made mental note, but also she wrote things down. She engaged her brain and she wrote things down. So she's likely more likely to remember those items. So the second one is organize. So we talk a lot about this strategy as well, because a common complaint or concern that comes to us is this idea of misplacing things. I won't ask you, but you can think about whether or not you're misplacing things, such as maybe our glasses. I don't misplace my glasses because I can't see without them, so I don't ever take them off. But some people wear maybe reading glasses. Do any of you wear reading glasses? Take them off, take them on and off all the time. So you're more likely to kind of misplace those items. Or our keys, things that we commonly use. Sometimes we start to misplace those over time. So this strategy emphasizes the importance of organization. We talk a lot about having a place for everything and everything in its place. You've heard that, and you probably taught your children those things too. Also, a logical place is key. Not just any old place, but a logical place. So how many here tonight know, if I were to ask you, so where is your toothbrush? Do you know right now where your toothbrush is? I would say probably 100% of you know where your toothbrush is. And that the reason is because it's in a logical place. And it's also in the same place. So you don't brush your teeth and then, maybe take your toothbrush and leave it in the basement like we do with our glasses and our keys. We put it in the logical place. And that same strategy can be used for other things. And we talk a lot about that, having a logical place in our home for things like our keys, our glasses, our purse, our wallet, our memory organizer. It's also important. So organize. Good. P stands for practice. We know that it's also important to practice, repeat, rehearse the information we want to commit to memory. Learning the ropes teaches a very specific method of practicing and retrieving information. The next strategy is elaborate. So some of you are already probably using this strategy without even knowing it. This memory technique focuses on elaborating on information to make it meaningful to you. So do you see yourself doing that? So let's use my name as an example. So if you wanted to remember my name, we met in a crowd like this, but you wanted to remember my name, Carolyn Underwood. So how might you make that name meaningful? What might you associate that with? Carrie Underwood. I get that a few times. Yeah, Carrie Underwood. Anything else? The typewriter. That's right. Yeah, the next generation won't be able to use typewriter as an example because they're not familiar. But making it meaningful, making associations. We do a lot of training and talking about making those kinds of things. My name's a bit of an easy example because of Carrie Underwood now, but we can do that with a lot of things. So the last strategy is actually one of my favorite ones. It's a little bit different, called stop, see it, and say it. So this is a good strategy to help us remember a couple of things. So it's to help us to remember what I intend to do. So have any of you ever gotten up, maybe you're watching TV, you go into another room in the house, and then you wonder, what did I come in here for? Yeah, probably everybody. I see everybody nodding their head. Most of us have done that from one time. So we go into this room, we wonder, what am I in here for? What do I intend to do when I get in here? So the idea of stop, see it, and say it, the idea behind that strategy is to live in the moment, to limit distractions. That's why we can't always remember what we're going to do in that room, because we're kind of distracted and we're not thinking specifically of that. Well, I was going to take the roast beef out of the freezer. 3 more minutes, thank you. So yeah, so what I intend to do, that's what one of the things this strategy can help us with. This strategy can also help us remember something that I have already done. I use this strategy, I use this example several times in my group already. And so one of the last things I have to do before when I'm leaving for work in the morning is put my garage door down. Did any of you have to do that? Put the garage door down. Now, by the time I get to the stop sign, I'm often wondering, did I put that garage door down? I'm not sure I did. And sometimes I drive all the way around the block to just double check. And when you start to have some memory issues, we do tend to start second guessing ourselves. People with memory issues, they're not sure they can rely on their memory anymore. They're just not sure. So they're checking that out. So the idea of stop, see it, and say it. I wish on my garage I had that right a big stop sign right on my garage. So it would help me to be right in the moment, and not thinking about other things. Not thinking about what am I going to get at Tim Hortons and what's my first meeting. All the different things that we think about throughout the, in the morning. But I would just think about in that moment, what am I doing? What am I doing right now? It helps me to have more confidence in my own memory. Yeah, I put the garage door down, and I can be confident in that. We don't have to rely on other people. That's the other thing that starts to happen when people have memory issues. They feel like I have to rely on someone else. I can't rely on my own memories. I have to rely on other people. That's what this strategy is about. So that's the basic idea of the Learning the Ropes group. You'll see that it's very interactive and practical and usually a lot of fun, very supportive. We find very supportive of each other. The memory training is well researched, and the techniques can be trusted to be helpful. Not to cure or fix that. We're leaving that up to Dr. Borey and his team. We're not there to fix, but we're there to help people to live better with the diagnosis that they have. We completed an informal study recently, an informal survey, really, and the individuals that have participated in the program. Most said they were almost always continuing to use the strategies. This is maybe a year, sometimes 2 years later. They're continuing to use the strategies. They find them helpful. 73% said their memory had pretty much stayed the same. They didn't see a decline. They didn't see improvements either, but it pretty much had stayed the same. They were pleased with that. 100% said they would recommend the program to others. So we were encouraged by that. So, I should go through this, sorry. So just to sum up, so how to participate in our program. Our referrals pretty much come from physicians in the community, maybe through Parkwood, family physicians, memory clinics, that type of thing. Sometimes nurses, sometimes community partners, sometimes individuals will call us and say, well, I've been to the doctor said I have mild cognitive impairment and thinks I should do this Learning the Ropes group. So that's okay too. So one last thing in follow-up. So one thing that we've recently developed as well, because this Learning the Ropes group is so popular, and I think largely because it's a very supportive group. People were asking, well, what's next? After this whole 6-week thing, what do I do next? They were so interested in continuing to learn and having more education and more opportunities to learn. So we developed what we call the MCI Alumni Group. So anyone who's participated in the 6-week group can come back and participate in this alumni group, which runs every other month. So it's ongoing learning opportunities, and we have people like Dr. Borey and Dr. Wells come and give us some updates and help us to keep learning and keep learning about those strategies as well. So that's it for me. And I'm going to pass it over, I think, to our most important speaker tonight,
Well,
our friend Morris.
I'm not sure I'm quite up to that.